I'm an avid Pokémon fan, so when I finally got my hands on Pokémon Gold version, I was thrilled. I noticed, though, that since it was an old hand-me-down, that the battery inside had drained and the save files couldn't be created anymore. But I couldn't wait to try it and started a new game anyway. The graphics were great compared to the blue version I had, and I was really happy and just filled with excitement. I picked a Cyndaquil that I had nicknamed Thorn, don't ask me why though, and I loved him to pieces. I named my rival Ben, just as I always do, and defeated him in our first battle with ease, accrediting it to my partner more than my battle skills. Everything was going great. I loved this game and loved all of my Pokémon. But in the back of my mind, I still remembered that all of this would soon end, and the battery wouldn't last forever. I hated the idea of losing my team after all we had been through together and accomplished. I had a female Flaffy named Cotton, a male Pidgeotto named Ace, a male Ghastly named Spooky, and a female Sentret named Maddie. When the inevitable happened, and the little red light on my Game Boy Color began flickering, I took a deep breath and looked at my team over one last time. I gave each of my Pokémon a goodbye. I looked at my partner the longest, a strong young Quilava finally, and started to tear up in the moment. I get attached to my Pokémon. Thorn, I'm sorry I did this. I should have waited to fix the cartridge before all of this happened. Forgive me, partner. Goodbye. I shed a little tear, knowing all of the tough battles and happy moments had gone to waste, and turned off the game. That night, I went to bed as normal after the incident. Turning off my lamp, I hopped into my warm, soft bed and closed my eyes. Wait. Something was wrong. I tossed and turned, fidgeted, repositioned my pillow, and shut my eyes tight. Nothing. I couldn't sleep. But why? Something just wasn't right. The feeling of my normally relaxed room, it was gone. An odd air hung silently, almost pulling me. I sat up in the darkness and saw a very small, very faint flickering red light in the corner of my eye. So I pushed my blankets and, forgetting the lamp, began to shuffle across the floor. But I stopped. A squirming in my gut told me not to move another inch. Something was really wrong here. Chills ran down my spine, like ice. And that's when I heard it. A distorted Pokemon's cry, sounding like it was coming through a poor quality TV channel. I rubbed my eyes and looked, panicking around my dark room. The red light was gone. I decided that I had been sleepwalking and found my bed again. And I heard it again, this time lower pitch, closer. I sat bolt upright, eyes wide. Who's there? No answer. Until a shaking, barely audible voice, like rustling leaves. I gasped in fear, heart thudding against my chest. I could see nothing. Nothing except that little red light again. I realized it was a reflection off of my mirror, and I found the source. My bedside table. I had put my Game Boy on it. Picking it up weakly, I looked at the dim, flickering light. The screen too flickered. This wasn't right. The Game Boy Color had no light to its screen, just pixels. But it lit briefly, a pale blue, and went blank once more. I stared numbly at it while my heart continued to hammer. The voice returned, a little cleaner than before, but still faint.
It's okay.
seemed to come from everywhere at once. The hair on the nape of my neck stood on end. And suddenly, I saw a pair of cloudy, pale blue eyes directly in front of mine. They had no pupils, no shine. They were just dull. I screamed, scooting backwards against my headboard in fear.
I forgive. And now can be together.
It said, as an icy sensation swept over me. I could barely breathe. A pain flared somewhere inside of my chest, and as those dead eyes stared into my soul, a blackness crept through the edges of my vision. As the last of my consciousness drifted out of reach, that morbid, static voice rang in my ears.
I will be with you now. With you forever.
When I finally woke up, I was in my pajamas. My bed's sheets twisted up around my sweat-soaked body. I looked around my room in silent dread for those haunting eyes, but they were nowhere to be seen.
Hey, I know it's Sunday, but are you gonna wake up at all?
Came my brother's voice from the hallway. I sighed, my shaking hands unfurling the blanket. It was all just a dream. Still, I couldn't help thinking about what happened to the Pokémon after you erased the game file. I still felt sorry about it. I hopped out of my bed and made for the hallway, smiling at my own fear. And in the corner of my eye, I saw it. My Quilava. In the reflection of my full-length mirror. He smiled his cold, dead smile. And when I looked back, he was gone.